Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills needs to fire Kyle Richards. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has had a ho-hum couple of seasons. Despite the best attempts from producers to reinvigorate the show, Season 14 has proven that there's no future if it continues to feature Kyle Richards. As the sole original star left on the Bravo hit, she gets away with much more than her co-stars, ultimately sending the series down the wrong path. Undoubtedly, RHOBH would never have reached the success it has if Kyle wasn't a part of the cast. Her family drama with siblings Kathy Hilton and Kim Richards made good TV for many years. Once upon a time, Kyle had a spring in her step as she took viewers into her life. Despite showcasing some episodes of delusion, the series has mined many storylines from her life. She's the definition of OG and was a crucial element of the show's success. But what else does she have to offer nowadays? Her storyline on RHOBH Season 13, including the downfall of her marriage to Mauricio Umansky and questions about her relationship with Morgan Wade, took up so much time, and viewers got little in return. Midway through RHOBH Season 14, we still have so many questions about her personal life, and it's becoming increasingly clear that we've been watching a persona the entire time she's been on the show. Kyle is a fantastic actress, but she just played up this persona so much better in prior seasons. So our best guess is that she's checked out of the show because, like viewers, she's bored of it. It must have been physically and mentally taxing to have the cameras following her every move for several months a year for the past 15 years. So we fully believe that it's time she took a breather for the show. Whether that's permanent would be down to producers, but it needs to happen for at least a trial period to try to shift the storylines in a funner direction. Kyle has had her day in the spotlight, and freeing up her salary could allow an A-list star to take her place and give the show a much-needed facelift. We don't doubt that a network would be interested in poaching Kyle to chart her next chapter, because she's accrued quite the following during her time on the show, but she has nothing left to give RHOBH. Watching her in her post-marriage life should have delivered some compelling storylines, but without Dorrit Kemsley reading her for filth, what would she have done this season for screen time? The reality is that the rest of the cast is putting in the work, and Kyle expects to cash that check and stick around because of her OG status. With the ratings down this season, Bravo and producers need to take note and make changes before we have another The Real Housewives of New York on our hands. What are your thoughts on Kyle's contributions to the show? Do you think it's time for her to lose her diamond? Kyle Richards has been a cornerstone of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills since its inception in 2010. Her presence on the show has been a fixture of drama, glamour, and intrigue. But as time passes, it becomes increasingly clear that Kyle's role on the show, which was once vital, is now arguably doing more harm than good. For the sake of the show's future, it might just be time for Bravo to consider letting Kyle go. Here are some reasons why The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills needs to fire Kyle Richards. 1. The show needs fresh energy. After more than a decade of Kyle's antics, storylines, and dramas, viewers are starting to grow weary. The show is stuck in a rut of repetitive narratives. While Kyle has provided unforgettable moments over the years, she has now become a symbol of the old guard, the familiar face that no longer surprises or excites the audience. The Housewives franchise thrives on bringing in fresh personalities and new dynamics to keep things exciting. Kyle's familiar presence is no longer a draw, it's become a crutch for the show's storytelling. When you watch RHOBH, the same scenes unfold time and again. Kyle's relationships with her sisters, her feuds with other cast members, and her complex dynamics with her husband. While these elements were compelling at first, they have since become tiresome. New blood could inject vitality into the show, introducing fresh conflict and new storylines that aren't tethered to years of history. 2. Kyle's one-dimensional narrative. Kyle's storyline has increasingly been reduced to just her family drama. The show began with her being a charming and relatable figure, a woman trying to balance family life, career ambitions, and her friendships with the other women. But over time, the show has morphed into one long chapter about Kyle's issues with her sisters, her on-again, off-again friendship, and her attempts to mediate disputes within the group. While family dynamics are important, it's difficult to watch the same narrative unfold year after year without something more. Her reliance on family conflicts, particularly the ongoing drama with her sisters, has now become a burden to the show. At this point, it feels like an overplayed plot point, with Kyle continuously rehashing the same tensions. A new cast member could bring different, more complex storylines to the table, rather than falling back on familiar, predictable conflicts. If RHOBH is to evolve and stay relevant, it needs new and diverse storylines that move beyond the already well-trodden path of Kyle's familial disputes. 3. Kyle's middle-of-the-road persona. One of the biggest critiques of Kyle Richards is her tendency to sit on the fence. In a world of fiery personalities and explosive confrontations, Kyle often plays the role of the peacemaker or middle-of-the-road character. While this role can be important at times, it's also limiting. On a show that thrives on drama and emotional intensity, Kyle's passive approach to conflict resolution often makes her feel like a bystander rather than an active participant in the storylines. This tendency to avoid taking strong stances, whether it's on a feud or a major issue, leaves her without much to stand for. She floats through the season without offering much in terms of a personal arc. When Kyle does get involved in drama, it often feels like she's reacting, not initiating. And while a good reactionary role can work in some cases, it's not sustainable in a reality TV format that thrives on conflict, bold decisions, and passion. The show needs cast members who are willing to fully engage and give viewers something to latch onto, whether that's a bold personality, shocking opinions, or a storyline that captivates the audience. Kyle's reluctance to stir the pot has made her role feel redundant. 4. Kyle's inability to adapt. The reality TV landscape is evolving, and RHOBH needs cast members who can adapt to the changing times. Kyle, however, seems stuck in a mold that was built over a decade ago. She continues to lean heavily on the same strategies, attempting to be the voice of reason or the nice girl, which may have worked when the show first launched, but doesn't resonate in the same way now. In a world where viewers are drawn to more layered, multidimensional personalities, Kyle's portrayal of herself as a constant mediator and peacemaker feels tired. Furthermore, Kyle's ability to evolve within the RHOBH context has been limited. Other cast members have embraced more daring, boundary-pushing approaches, developing far more captivating storylines. Kyle, on the other hand, has been slow to adapt to this shift in tone, often clinging to her familiar persona and playing it safe. The audience is looking for more than just the girl next door. They want drama, they want complexity, they want boldness. Kyle's consistent unwillingness to change or take risks has put her at a disadvantage in a reality show world where evolution is key to staying relevant. 5. Her allegiance to certain cast members feels contrived. For years, Kyle's relationship with certain cast members has been one of the driving forces of the show. But her loyalty to certain women, especially her allegiance to her sister Kim, and her unwavering defense of her friendship with Lisa Vanderpump, during seasons where their bond was under heavy scrutiny, has often been seen as insincere or strategic. Viewers are savvy enough to recognize when Kyle is merely aligning herself with certain people for the sake of the show, not because of true friendship or emotional connection. Kyle's alliances often feel calculated, like a play for screen time or a way to ensure that she doesn't become the next target of the group. While this may be a natural part of the game when it comes to reality television, it can also make her seem less authentic. The show thrives on raw emotions, and when a cast member's motivations are transparent, it detracts from the credibility of the drama. 6. Her good girl image is outdated. In the world of RHOBH, a good girl image is often synonymous with being boring. While Kyle has attempted to maintain a wholesome, likable persona over the years, it's no longer enough to stand out among a cast of women who are willing to go to greater lengths to create compelling narratives. Viewers expect more than just charm. They expect vulnerability, messiness, and unapologetic behavior. Kyle's attempt to be the level-headed one no longer serves her, and it's beginning to alienate viewers who crave drama and bold personalities. The best reality TV stars are those who are unapologetically themselves, who make bold moves, stir controversy, and ultimately feel real in their interactions. Kyle's refusal to fully embrace the drama or make polarizing